Okay, girls, at the end of last term, we did 8B, 8A and B, which was expanding. And now we're going to do factorizing, so going backwards. So we just have to remember what the greatest common factor means. And so in algebra, I look at this and I say, okay, I need to have the biggest number that divides into both 6 and 9. Okay, so I'm going to look at number that goes into the numbers I'm given. And I also have to look at the letter, or the pronumeral, and I need to take the smallest represented. Okay, so let's do that. So I say, okay, what number goes both into 6 and 9? Well, that's 3. And then I say, this is x to the first power, and this is x squared. So I take the least of that. So I take x, then I put my brackets. Oh, I don't need to put brackets yet. 3x is the answer to this, because I'm just looking for the GCF. Now let's look at this. I need the number that goes both into 12 and 4. That's 4. Now if you wrote 2, it would be a common factor, but it's not the greatest common factor. Okay, and then I look and I go, this is x to the 4th, and that's x squared, so I pick the smallest. This is y to the 3rd and y to the 8th, so I pick y to the 3rd. And that's the greatest common factor between these two terms. Okay, let's talk about how we would factorize out greatest common factor. So A says 40 minus 16b. Okay, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, let's see, 4 goes in here 10 times and 4 goes in there 4 times. So I reckon there's a bigger factor that divides, and I think it's 8. So I'm going to say, okay, 8 goes in, that's the number. This has no letter at all, so I can't get a letter out. And I put my brackets and I say, okay, what would I have to multiply by 8 by to get 40? And I put the 5. This sign goes right in the middle. And I say, what would I have to multiply 8 by to get 16b to b? And that's my answer. Okay, let's look at b. It's here. Sometimes they ask you to take out a negative factor when both things are negative. So I'm going to put a negative. What goes into 8 and 12 evenly? The biggest thing is 4. And there's 2 x's there and 1 there. So I'm going to put 1 because I take the smallest. And then I put my brackets and I say, what would I have to multiply by here? Well, negative times a positive is a negative. So it's a positive 2 to get the 8. And I need 1 more x to get the x squared. Okay, this is the really hard part. If I put negative 3 here to get that 12, a negative times a negative would be a positive. So I actually put positive 3. All right, so this is the story. When factorizing out a negative GCF, greatest common factor, the inside sign, that thing, changes. Negative, it goes to positive, and if that was positive, it would go to negative. Okay, cool. Now let's look down here. It says factorizing out a binomial factor. Okay, so let me put A here. It says 3 bracket x plus y plus x bracket x plus y. Okay, now this is hard sometimes, so I really want you to concentrate for a minute. And what I want to show you is that these two things are the same. You see that? Those are the same. So that's the thing I'm going to factorize out. For instance, if there was a z under my fingers, I would put a z on the outside of the brackets, and I'd put 3 plus x on the inside. So I'm going to take that whole thing and I'm going to put it out here. And then I'm going to write what's left over in here. Okay, let's try this one. Got that, got that. There's nothing in front of here, so I'm going to put a 1 there. Okay. So what they have in common is 7 minus 2x. And the leftover stuff gets just multiplied right here. 1 minus x. Okay, that's kind of the hard part. Okay, in 8c, you're going to do 4 through 8, and for each one, you're going to do every third. So you're going to do A, and then you're going to skip B, and skip C, and do D. Skip E, skip F, do G. Okay, so that's what you're going to do in 8C of your Cambridge book.